Hello everybody, welcome back to Arthenex Plays Pillars of Eternity. So, in between episodes I rested, and I traveled back to Elm Shore, and presumably that elven woman is here somewhere, probably by either the pillars or the arch, if I had to guess. So let's try the pillars first. We never did come this way before. What do we have here? Oh, this must be her. An elf stands on a dais in the middle of a clearing. The ground is blanketed with leaves in various shades of russet and gold. Her eyes are closed and her arms folded in front of her. A curtain of autumnal yellow hair hangs in front of her face. As you draw near, she lifts her chin and looks at you with shifting hazel eyes.
Greetings, Estramor. You are among the ovates of the Golden Grove.
The wrath has sent me to end your life. It has continued for too long.
And turned your turbulent passions against me, no doubt. What is a god that his voice should carry so far? And what are you that you should so eagerly obey? The gods only have dominion over what we cede, and you would cede matters of life and death to them.
Look, lady, I need his help, alright? Are you any different? You've extended your life beyond its natural span. Through work and wisdom. The greater the tree, the more fruit it may yield. They are vines climbing an ancient elm into the sunlight. My growth sustains them. Should our harmony fall prey to a god's jealousy? Your growth stunts theirs. They learn nothing apart from you. If this is what you demand of the other ovates, you are no different from the Ethok Knoll, or the gods. A storm of protest brews behind her color-shifting eyes. She says nothing for several seconds, but you see the fury slowly drain from her face as her eyes fade to the brown of dead leaves. Finally, Eronia lowers her head. Your words carry truth and shame. It was never my desire to diminish my followers, but I can see where perhaps my roots left no room for them to grow. Very well, if my season has ended, then let me pass with it. As she closes her eyes, the warmth and color drain from her body. Her breathing slows, her ashen skin stiffening with a dull patina. When the last sigh leaves her lungs, cracks carve their way across her flesh, dividing it into hardened ridges. Within seconds, Erona has petrified, her bark-encrusted face turned towards the ovates below the dais. Oh, we actually did one peacefully. Gain reputation at Ethok Knoll. After I just killed them? Scoundrel. Extremely bad. Yeah, I thought so. Champion. I wonder if there's a way I could have peacefully persuaded that druid to do something else. Maybe sacrifice himself? Whatever. I don't regret killing him. Alright. Back to Elm's Reach. With all 4 of the quests complete. And let's see. We'll turn them in the order we care about them. So, what is it? Hyena? Hylia. Hylia, then Barath, then the other 2 in some order that I don't really care about. I'm pretty sure there's another big chunk of the campaign after this, but we'll see. Hylia is this one. You kneel. While you pray, you feel the space around your body shift and melt, and you find yourself in the vision of a mountaintop temple. You see neither worshippers nor a dragon, but a tree. Its limbs wrap around the perimeter of the temple, tapering into twigs and branches of all sizes and angles. They seem too long and too numerous to be held up by the meager trunk, but they hold steady in the breeze. A single sparrow lands on the nearest branch. It watches you. Throw a rock at the sparrow. I seek an audience. You whistle the first tune that pops into your head. The sparrow blinks its beady eyes and hops closer to you along the branch. It bobs its tiny head and opens its beak, and the rich trilling melody that spills forth is the song of a chorus of birds. A massive flock descends with the thundering of wings and whooping, screeching, chirping calls. They fill the boughs of the tree by the thousands, birds of every shape, size, and color nestling next to one another. Genia sighs heavily. To be honest, I really can't stand birds. A breeze ripples through the air. The limbs sway, creaking with strange, gentle rhythm. A few hundred of the birds flit from their branches, forming a brilliantly variegated flock in front of the tree. As they meet and swoop in unison, you catch a glimpse of someone looking back at you, cloaked by the flurry of feathers.
You journeyed to my temple and rid it of the dragon. Now my faithful may return, singing their joy to the skies and praising me through their creation.
I just wanted to kill a dragon. That is actually the truth. But I won't say that, because it's never wise to mock the gods. Life is creation and celebration. I'm glad to have served you in this.
Glad because you seek to protect life, or because you seek a patron. And yet you have proven yourself with this task. I would tell you of another.
Another one? Alright. I'm listening.
You must stop Theos, and you must undo the tragedy he has wrought.
I agree. Theos acts but is moved by another. The exiled queen whispers in his ear, urges him to rob the living of the unborn in order their souls for her benefit, and he has obeyed. She will consume them, grow powerful while 1,000 empty children are born. But there is still time to reverse this tragedy. Why would she do this? Because she prizes authority over mercy, laws over kith. She values the souls of mortals not for the beauty they create, but for what they can add to her power. She fears animancy. She believes that mortals may use it to usurp the god's power, her power. She cares nothing for the innovation of kith, and how could she? She gives commands, not inspiration. It sounds like he's collaborated with her for a long time. You know already that he has lived many lives. In each it has been her voice in his ear, guiding him to serve her ambitions, urging him to protect her interests. This is what the Leaden Key has been for centuries, and each of his lies has been one stanza after another in a song of devotion to the Oathbinder. Alright, what do I have to do? Guide the trapped souls back to the bodies they were stolen from, hollow-born children whose eyes have never seen the sun. You could restore them, give their families hymns of joy after years of lament. Peace and restoration give purpose to suffering. There is no meaning, no redemption in pain that does not lead to fulfillment. Symmetry demands that great rejoicing follow suffering such as this. Thank you, Hylia. I will
When you
continue to
reach the
sigh.
burial isle, you will find souls there that I have granted reprieve for their sins. I give these to you, for only they can bear you to safety on your journey down. And when you face Theos and the rotting fruits of his endeavors, remember the conversation we have had. In that moment you will have power rivaling a god's. And after it, you will live in the world that you have chosen. Choose Restoration, Watcher. Return the souls to the bodies they were stolen from. Swear to me that you will do this, and I shall give you power to make even Woodica quake. I can be merciful and terrible, Watcher.
Ooh. Interesting. I wonder what my other options are. presumably take the power for myself, allow them to continue on to other lives. I kind of want to hear what the other gods have to say.
Wait! I'm not done with you.
You owe Pelagenia some answers.
It's not often that any of our kind get the chance to speak to their... What should I call you? My mother? Father? Those words seem to fall short and yet be too generous, given our history.
You are angry with me.
What did you expect? Should I be happy? To be like this? To live like this? What kind of creator does this to her creation and abandons it in a world this cruel?
And should I have plucked you from your home, wrapped you in my wings, and brought you to a nest like this one? Some tranquil and harmonious place far from the war chants and battle dances you love so well? Tell me what you want.
All I've ever wanted from any of your kind is to take some responsibility. Any responsibility for what you've done. To us. To every one of the children you've abandoned.
You are a song of ferocity, and one I love well. I hear your furor and rage, and it is music. Your prowess and valor leave a trail like a tapestry upon the world. I would not dampen your song, even with the comfort of my wings.
What does that mean? Come back here!
She's not coming back. There's no use shouting after her.
I know. There's no use, but I'm still going to do it anyway. Fine. You win. I'm done.
Alright. Let's see what Barath wants me to do. You find yourself on the road. Squinting into the distance, you see a short, pale figure waiting for you. At first, you think it's another vision of the archdruid Reshton. Then you notice the figure's skeletal frame and rictus grin. He stands in front of another skull gate, but the way leads downward, not onward. He beckons for you to approach. That must be the usher. Behind you is a woman, her skin milk pale against her black hair. She wears a suit of armor so dark it seems to suck the light from the stars. The road winds up a mountain behind her.
A toll, traveler.
And the pallid knight. Pay him. You drop a few coppers into her hand, and she closes her fist around the coins. You instantly feel a small weight added to her purse. The Lord of the Road demands a toll of all, but he lends generously, that all might travel his road again. Behind her, the usher grins his lipless smile and waits. The road bores into the mountain, and you find yourself in a gigantic cavern. The ceiling curves up and away, and it's dotted with moisture. At this distance, the shining beads look like stars, clustered and scattered in constellations. The usher and the pallid light lead you up a trail carved into the edge of the cavern. Two identical cave mouths wait up ahead, and you follow the usher to one of them. Standing by the edge and gazing down, you see an endless, ever-changing plain bisected by a road. Only then do you realize you're no longer on the road. As you follow the road to the point where it disappears below you, you realize that you're standing in one of the eye sockets of a massive skull. The usher points to the road. Archdruid Reshton appears below you. He's just as you remembered him, stern and smooth-skinned. Yet with each step along the road he grows, swelling with blood and essence. His heavy step becomes slower and slower until he stops altogether. His distended body fills the path completely.
You met a dwarf traveling this road. What did you do?
Reshton had stood in place for too long. I merely set him moving again. Palace Knight's flesh is taut against her skull. She nods once, barely dipping her chin.
Life is kinetic. Forward motion. 100 beginnings and endings nested within 1,000,000 more.
As Reshton's soul and body ruptures, the effect is like a dam bursting. Ghostly figures, as hazy and indistinct as whips of smoke, continue along the cleared path. Some tumble and rush along, while others amble and drift, but all continue forward. The usher directs your attention to another figure moving down the path. This time you see High Ovate Irona. As she follows the road, her movements become slow and erratic. Her legs creak with each step, and her feet grow long, thick roots that burrow into the ground. She finally stops, rooted in place.
You found a tree that had lived for centuries. Its roots were deep, and its boughs sheltered many. Why did you cut it down?
It was a parasite. While its branches sheltered others, its roots sucked them dry.
All draw their life's energy from the deaths of others. This is why all must remain part of the cycle of death and rebirth. No creature may be a closed loop unto itself.
Irona's body petrifies below, and shimmering leaves of her hair blow down the path. You seek another who has lived his lives on the brink of the cycle. He sits on the inside of the wheel, observing its revolution, which each new life he has plucked from the stream and returned to it intact. Why do you hunt Theos? He's entrapped thousands of souls for Wadika. I've got to stop him from giving her absolute power.
If you know this much, then another god has already spoken with you, and given you half of the answer.
True. Theos serves Wadika. She desires escape from her own cycle, power without decline. Theos has removed thousands of souls from the cycle so that their essence might empower her. You must stop him, and you must return them to the cycle. Why does Wadika even need Theos' help? And why do you need mine, for that matter? The gods guide souls through the cycle of death and rebirth, but Aurora is the domain of mortals. We stand aside, weights and counterweights. Were one to alter the tides of Kith, all would follow. We would tip this world from its axis. That is why Wadika directs a mortal to do her bidding, and why anyone who would thop Theos must be mortal as well. What end would it serve to send the souls back into the cycle? Tending to these souls is a question of stability, Watcher, of maintaining the natural order of the world and the ebb and flow of essence. Couldn't they be returned to the Hollowborn? This is what the other one wanted. As battered, burdened things, do you mix soured wine with fresh? The kindness you seek lies in giving them a new beginning, not shackling them to this life. If Theos has meddled with these souls, perhaps it would be better to destroy them. The cycle is merciless, but it is not wasteful. Time and the endless procession of rebirths eventually grinds souls into dust, but until then they must pass from this world and return to it. Their continuing movement advances the cycles itself. Cycles are changeless and monotonous. Surely there's a better alternative. The illusion of revolution is merely part of another cycle, and a painful one. True change has structure, geometry. It is the product of cycles within cycles, 1,000 gears spinning and moving the universe by degrees. Very well, I understand what you're telling me. I only show you the motion of this universe, Watcher. I must go.
No mortal can survive the descent into the pit. But there are souls on the burial isle that are pledged to me. I will grant them to you, and they shall bear you down safely, as well as light the way beyond.
Multitude appeared at the other end of the road, raising their voices and kicking up dust as they make their way towards you. Return them to the cycle, Watcher. Promise that you will, and I shall give you power befitting a champion of death. Accept my favor, however, and I will demand this decision as your due. I collect from all mortals in time. Do not delay long, Watcher. What Theos seeks to do cannot be undone, even by the turning of the wheel. Okay. 2 down. Alright, let's see what Rimmergand has to say. Wait. You pray again, and the vision of the white plain emerges. The driving wind returns to a chaos of whirling snow. Something moves at the center of this blizzard, plodding but relentless. As the snowstorm gets closer, you see an aurochs. It's colossal and slow as the glacier. Its shaggy white hair is matted with frost, but beneath it, ribs like a ship's frame protrude. A man, emaciated and almost naked, huddles at the beast's legs. His body is scored with lash marks, and his nose and ears have been carved from his face. His black eyes pierce the whiteout. Ilioth leans forward by the wheel. It's Skane. The aurochs stops and stands before you, enveloping you in the violent blizzard that surrounds it. Though its mouth does not move, the beast speaks in a deep, thunderous voice.
A clan of Glamfelin ventured from the Whitefat Wens to find the crack in the ice. When you sealed it, you damned their souls to a slow weathering here, one they had sought to escape.
Their souls will eventually break down.
Entropy is not the sudden, violent combustion of heat and flame. It is a slow progression. Fragment by fragment, the elements wear even the mountains to dust.
The world shudders beneath you, and a great crack echoes across the white expanse. The ice splits at your feet, waves lapping through the rift.
The Watcher seeks something long lost. What is it you search for?
The thousands of souls that Theos has stolen for Wartica.
Theos has removed these souls from the cycle. They are ice melting in the sun. Let them fade.
So he wants me to destroy them.
Let them forget this world and be forgotten by it.
Take the souls she so desires and grind them into dust. Let her see her careful schemes thoroughly ruined.
That last one sounded a little nastier than the other two. For several seconds, the waves wash quietly against the ice, and the aurochs stand silently amid the churning flurries.
It is the destiny of all things to crumble and join the chaos that follows this world. Some seek it willingly, as you have seen.
To mingle, roiled and stirred by the tides of the universe. It is not an unkind fate.
You would give these souls the very fate you sought to deny the Glamfelin pilgrims.
I am the beast of winter. I neither speed nor alter my path for the whims and desires of Kith. I take souls at the time of my choosing, be it mote by mote or in a sudden tempest of chaos.
These souls, they have already forgotten their place in this world. They have been lost to existence. Let them be memorialized and mourned for an age, and then forgotten entirely.
Why do you oppose Wartica?
She desires to order chaos and shackle the agents of change in the world. Under her, all things would remain static and frozen according to her laws.
Even now, she only barely keeps the pact of the gods to leave the affairs of Kith in mortal hands. She moves in Theos where she cannot move directly.
And so we call on you to do the same. Such are the schemes of the Queen that was.
Then I will seek him.
When you reach the Burial Isle, we will send lost souls to guide you through the pit. This is our gift to you. What you do after you face Theos will be your choice, but we would have you set the stolen essence adrift.
And whether you would heed us or no, understand that our end comes to all things eventually. Help us achieve it, and we shall reward you now with a power to rival Theos's.
But do not choose lightly. We forget nothing, least of all a betrayal.
Do not wait forever. We wait, but Theos does not.
Wormagon continues towards you, swallowing you in a blinding, deafening snowstorm. You experience a dizzying, exhilarating disorientation, oblivious to the landscape around you and even the reality of your own body. You hear a noise that could be the shrieking winds of Skaon's screechy cackle, then it recedes with everything else. Wormagon reappears in the distance, trudging away from you, and when Whiteout follows him. As the vision of snow fades, it leaves in the wake of the flagstones of Tir Evon. One more. How close am I to leveling up again? Very close. Oh. Am I XP capped? I think I might be XP capped. Back. The beast looks at you. Gleaming fangs protrude from the sides of its mouth. Its nose twitches as it inhales your scent, starting at your shoulder and proceeding down the length of your arm. You follow its nose to your hand, which is covered in blood. A tongue, as red and meaty as a steak, lolls out of its mouth and swipes your bloody hand. Its lips curl into what looks like a smile. The beast looks back at you. As it fixes you with its glowing eyes, its muzzle retreats into a long, bearded face, and its pointed ears lengthen, dropping to the sides of its head. What was a massive hound becomes a giant of a man, its broad, muscled shoulders draped with furs. He holds a flint knife to your neck and grins, revealing a row of long, pointed teeth. That's one way to make an introduction, I suppose.
The lioness reigns still, and soon her cubs will rise. Why did you strike the bear down?
Oranos could not seize his victory. He did not deserve it.
Worthiness is proven in conflict. Might grappling with might. Flesh tears, bones break, and the ones that mend are stronger still. Blood mixes, and the worthier substance rises to the top. And you have proven worthy.
Twigs crunch and branches snap. The ground shivers under the weight of pacing, prowling footsteps. A dozen beasts, bears, wolves, and long-fanged cats stalk out of the undergrowth, their matching amber eyes fast on you. Just how real do you think this is? As the beasts encircle you, their master rises to its feet. Even the largest of bears can only reach its brown and muscle-knotted shoulders. You stand, mindful of the ring of predators surrounding you.
You sought and won the favor of Galawain. What new prey do you now pursue?
I must stop Theos from feeding thousands of souls to Wodaka. A sudden blast of heat scalds your face, and even as you turn away, a flash of light sears your vision through the eyelids. When you look back, you see a woman in full plate standing next to Galawain.
So you know. No doubt one of the others has already enlisted you, and with a different purpose. Nevertheless, hear us.
Track Theos. Follow the trail he has left for you, and corner him in sun and shadow.
You must stop him before he empowers Wodaka.
And if you do, you will have a different decision to make.
The gods mean to leave this in our hands?
Souls were ripped from the world, ripe and full and pulsing with essence. Scatter them like bones to a pack of dogs. Their essence will strengthen the souls of the Deerwood. Let the remains of the dead feed the survivors.
Why would I feed the lost soul's essence to the rest of the Deerwood?
To breed strength. Power is born from the mixing of essence and blood.
What Theos did cannot be undone. Thousands of lives have changed, and thousands more have ended because of his actions. But transformation gives purpose to trial.
And improvement is the goal of all Kith. Long lives, prosperous futures, stronger minds and bodies. Strengthening those who remain will help repair the damage that Theos has done to the Deerwood.
Interesting. Long lives, prosperous futures, stronger minds and bodies. They make a pretty good case, actually. If Wodaka can accomplish this, then perhaps she deserves her victory. The bear at Galawain's side rises on its hind legs and roars. It falls back on all fours with a ground-shaking thud. Galawain points his dagger at you.
A victory that leaves her ruler of all. No room for conflict, no struggle, not even between the gods.
Be careful what you wish for, mortal. Woodica's ways are regressive. Her laws never change, her authority never ebbs, and she never forgets a slight.
Woodica would crush the Deerwood simply out of vengeance for the rebellion against Adir, her favorite. She would stamp out Animancers, Godslayers from the Saints' War, and anyone else she viewed as heretical or dangerous.
Now I've got
And
to
when you
find
descend
those.
the pit to Sun in Shadow, you can count on our assistance to see you safely through. As I hope we can count on yours when you reach the bottom. There are many souls upon the Burial Isle that are sworn to serve us. They belong to you now, and they shall guide your descent.
Dan said this soon before. You'll count on us to deal with whatever's down there, and we can count on you to take credit for it later. There's his knife between your feet, sticking into the handle. He raises his empty hand.
Hunt him, mortal. And when you stop him, let the souls he has captured feed the Deerwood.
Strengthen the souls of those who remain. Prepare them to face the challenges that will follow. Pledge that you will do this, and we will grant you a power fit for the finest warrior who ever lived.
Betray us, and my beast shall track you down. Our allegiance is not to be accepted and cast aside.
Well, I have to decide then. Should I return the souls to the children? I don't think I'm certainly not going to destroy them. And I'm certainly not going to return them to the wheel immediately, whatever Barath might have said. So do I return them to the children? Or do I convert them into essence to strengthen the Deerwood? Or do I do none of these things? Somehow, I feel like there should be another option. There's certainly I can give the souls to Waraka, and there's certainly I can take them for myself. I wonder if there's another option. I'm going to say I need to think about it.
Consider and calculate, but decide.
Oh, nope, I wasn't level capped because I just leveled up. Excellent. Adder. Sure. Oh, talents. Thinking. Thinking that would be just better than those. Really, the question is this. I think I'm going to go for this. And myself can't afford another level of mechanics. A third level invocation. Summon Drake. That seems pretty good. Summon 2 ogres. Friendly AO. Oh. Revise everybody. And the Chanter with bolts of freezing ice. And all right. So this piece lit the night with its breath. Yeah, I gotta do this. Are you kidding me? None of these are particularly amazing anyway. Alright, well that is pretty good. Doesn't say how long it lasts though. Alright, well I'll do that one for my second one. But and then a talent. I don't see any that I really want, so maybe I'll just take this. It's not amazing, but I think it's better than any of the other options. Yeah, we'll just take that. And keep improving lore. Oh, we have all the second and third level spells already. What should we do here? Drains of resolve and intellect. stuck and becomes an anchor for future wave enemies from the wizard that does freeze damage to enemies in its path. That's 2. Is it just foes? Yeah, I think it's probably everybody. Can't really see using any of these so far. Alright, we'll try this. Another wall spell. Wall of Flame did help us a lot in that fight. We already have the fire one. Let's grab... you mostly do fire damage when you attack. I have like 1 corrode spell. I have like 1 frost spell, which I don't really use. You have the accuracy with wands. Looks like it because I don't see it there. That would be okay, but not great. This does gives you shock damage reduction along with the bonus damage. Alright, I'll take, let's see, I guess I have 2 things that do corrode damage. I'll take the Spirit of Decay. Alright.
Hey.
Do I want to serve one of these gods? Or should I keep my options open?
All right then.
I think I'm going to keep my options open. Commit myself to nothing.
Stop right there.
Oh, another vision.
You're in the wrong city, Inquisitor. Did you think you wouldn't be recognized here in your old home? I've seen your trials with my own eyes.
I've seen you light pyres with good people tied to them, people I'd known many a year. He seizes you by the throat and your airway tightens, whether real or imagined, you cannot tell. They deserve your confession. He raises the point of his sword, holding it a hair's breadth from your eye.
Suros, what are you doing?
Startled, the soldier releases you immediately and turns to face the speaker, a woman in a plain wool tunic, fully a head shorter than he, but somehow seeming to tower over him. You have seen this woman's face before, but from afar, bloodied and burned as she lay stretched across an iron wheel. At the moment, it is marked only with concern.
An assassin sent by the Inquisition, my lady, daring to approach our camp.
If he is so poor an assassin as to approach an armed guard in daylight, I should have nothing to fear. I would hear what he has to say. She stares him down until he can no longer face her. He turns away, sour-faced, watching you with through sidelong glances, his knuckles white around the pommel of his sword.
Surely this is some trick of my mind. I did not expect to see you again.
I had no right to expect it, not the way we left things. Grand Inquisitor Theos dispatched me here to spy on you. Are things as desperate as that over there? I'd never have known. I hope your next assignment is more stimulating. Listening to my lectures is dull work for a spy. I realize there may be more to that for you, but I can't fault anyone for following their heart. Whatever your reasons, I've missed you all these years. Having you here now, at a time when I'm surrounded by strangers, is a wonderful gift. I would like
for you to stay here, in our camp, as my guest.
My lady Irvara, I beg of you. This is an Inquisitor. This is a desperate attempt on your life. The only way it can succeed is if you allow it to.
This is a missionary, same as I was. Taught the wrong things as I was. If I can't have faith in one man's ability to reason, once he knows the truth, what hope do we have?
My lady, he admits being a spy.
That should make him less of a threat, wouldn't you agree? I have nothing to hide. All I see here is an opportunity to persuade someone who could help us. We have many former missionaries here. They are our most loyal, our most helpful. Many have died for us. These are not people we should be turning away. And if the Inquisition wants my life, they can have it. But they know as well as I do that my cause will not die with me. Come. We have much to talk about.
Oh?
All right. So I guess the only question is, should I return to my stronghold and do some levels in the dungeon before I continue with the main quest? But I don't think I will. I think I will press on. Somehow I don't think that this is going to be the end of this campaign, but we'll see. For one thing, I have yet to actually be attacked in the stronghold. All those hirelings and all of that prestige and security, so far they've all been useless. Whoops, wrong dock. You finished your business here? No.
This does look like Theos' kind of place.
Another vision?
I remember when I was a girl, and the missionaries came and told us about the gods. They said we could see them in the stars. I remember when I heard that, I snuck out at night and climbed the watchtower in the old fort because I wanted to see them better. That fort burned down a few years ago, when we cast the missionaries out. It was the missionaries who set fire to it. They didn't want us to be able to use it. Shame. There was history in that fort.
It was that fort had outlived its use. It was a false sense of security. It was that, for me as much as anyone. Seeing it burn, it made me think. You called this place home once. Do you worry about it? I worry about you. You should be more worried about yourself. Half the guards still plot your death at night. I
miscalculated many things since this began. I'm relieved you weren't one of them. It's a good thing we didn't hang you. I always knew this path would have consequences. But I never wanted to see Kratom suffer on my behalf. I don't think I can stay here any longer. I am told the Inquisition is gathering an army, that they have sent messengers to bargain with rulers from distant lands. Kratom is not built to withstand a siege. If war is coming, I should be doing what Theos is doing. I will need allies. Allies in a stronghold that can resist an invading army.
You feel words formed long ago rising in your throat like a toxic black bile. Have you thought about Oceanus?
Oceanus? They have held off many would-be invaders, and their king has no love of the Inquisition's faith. I wonder, would he listen?
I see, these are souls.
Were they being soul?
Alright, I just got an achievement, Super Murderer. I wonder what that was. I'll have to look at that afterwards.
Were they being soul?
Job.
Not sure what they're trying to do. Whatever it was, it didn't work. These stairs, I think, kind of wrecked the AI. Alright, well, I think I'm going to end this episode here. Thanks for watching, everybody. If you enjoyed the episode, please consider liking the video and But either way, I hope all of you out there have a terrific day.